Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:02. Welcome to the Lock Shop, everybody. If you're listening on Edmonton Sports Talk, swing on by. Look who it is. There's that Cam. Why has he got that tripod we haven't been able to find for 2 weeks? We couldn't find it. Anyway, Zach that comes in the house. Zach, tell them that you're with us, and they'll give you lunch or whatever. All right, there you go. Oh, look how happy he is. All right, it is the Lock Shop. We are live from the 170th Popeyes. Doors are open. People are rolling in, and all of the proceeds from this Boston Pizza and all of the Boston Pizza, I'm doing Ulster, from this Popeyes and all of the Popeyes from Red Deer North. The net proceeds today are all going to the Ben Stelter Foundation. And I already had my lunch. I had the exact same order that was Ben's go-to. And it was, I have to say, it was delicious. I had the mac and cheese, which was great. I had the tendies. No complaints. Obviously, awesome. The biscuit was great. And then, Ben's favorite meal was tenders, mac and cheese, and Coke. And he loved this place so much that following his cancer treatments during his battle, they would come here. This would be his thing that he would want after he went through all of the tough stuff that he had to go through. So that's why we were set up here all day today. A bunch of people have already rolled in, and I'm sure more will be coming as we actually get closer to lunchtime today. A lot of people having chicken around 11 a.m. today. I like to see it. We'll see you later, man. All right. We've got lots to get to as we work our way through the Lock Shop today. Hustle, join us momentarily. Let me just lay out what we've got for you already, locked and loaded over at Play Alberta today. Two things already up. We'll get to a Lock Shop partner parlay. Jay's play today. Shout out to Glue Guy. He was on the Hurricanes money line last night. Cashed that bet nicely. And we'll have the DGen Den grandest of parlays as well. That is still to come here. We've got the see you later, man. Have a good day. The early bird bet is already up. If you like the Oilers tonight, Oilers to win, McDavid assist, Bush point, Hyman point, plus 341. If you haven't yet used our codes here in the month of May, got to use them in May because they will expire and then we'll get new codes for June. So $5 deposit, use the code YEG50 and you get a $50 free bet on that $5 deposit. And you can use it on this tonight if you want. McDavid with an assist, Bush a point, Hyman a point, Oilers to win. And then Dusty's play of the day, I just threw it up on social media and it's up there ready to go as well. Connor McDavid has been absolutely, do I have the numbers here again? Yeah, Connor McDavid has at least a point in 10 straight game fours, but in his 10 straight game fours, he has 20 assists, 2 goals and 20 assists in his last 10 game fours, which is nuts. He also has had multi-point efforts in 6 of his 9 career postseason games against Dallas last year and this year. Connor McDavid, 2+ points tonight, minus 116. That is also up there on the special bets page, the ESP special page over at playalberta.ca as well. If you've yet to download the app as well and be ready for those June codes. We'll be rolling out all the new sign-up codes, not sign-up codes, but bonus codes in June for you as well. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for the Lock Shop. Turn on autoplay. That'll take you right over to Two Guys and Goalie a little bit later on. And hey, let's go. If you want anything into a Lock Shop partner parlay today, throw up your favorite plays over in the chat and hammer the thumbs up. In fact, I haven't done that yet either. There we go. Boom. There's the thumbs up. And of course, you can text us at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. All right, Benny, if Huss is ready to go, you can bring him in here and we'll get to last night's game and then obviously tonight's game as well. Huss, what's up, man? We are at Popeyes all day today. We were at a Popeyes, Louisiana kitchen at 5 a.m. this morning getting ready. It's a full day at Popeyes today. You remember little Benny, little fan here in Edmonton. He became a star. Today would have been his birthday. So everybody seemed up. 21 Popeyes locations. All of the net proceeds today are going to the Ben Stelter Foundation. So we decided we'd set up shop here. Yeah, very cool. It's not just like 50 cents from every chicken sandwich. It's all of their net proceeds today are going to the Ben Stelter Foundation. So we decided they're a major partner of ours. We decided to set up shop, and I'm just looking around right now. It's Maddie and Eric are sitting over there crushing Popeyes. Zach and Trevor over here crushing Popeyes. I've already had the mac and cheese and tendies this morning, and a bunch of listeners have already rolled in. It's a good day. It's a game day. It's his birthday. It's all lining up nicely.
I was about to ask you how much has gone down the hatch so far today. Now, I don't believe Popeyes has a breakfast menu, if I'm not mistaken.
They don't open till 10:30.
So
I would say they don't have a breakfast menu yet. At some point you gotta give me like a chicken breakfast sandwich. I'll take that.
Listen, their biscuits are amazing. The chicken is obviously elite. I mean, you're not too far off from just serving up. Here's some chicken and the biscuit. Good morning, and just eat it. So
that's it. You know what? That biscuit could be breakfast. I'm a big salt guy. I shouldn't be, but I am. And the salt on that biscuit is just, or whatever, the butter flavoring with it, it's damn delicious. Absolutely loved it. So, and we'll see, like I'm here for that. I got this hour. I got 2 guys and a goalie. And then, I'll wrap up around 1, maybe a chicken sandwich on my way out today. We'll see. Maybe dinner for the family later tonight.
You can't leave without a minimum of 1 chicken sandwich. Like the Popeyes chicken sandwich completely changed the game. And I'll be straight. Like I'm a fan of a lot of other places that sell chicken. You remember the chaos when the Popeyes chicken sandwich came to Canada? And rightfully so. Rightfully so. I mean, some people love the spicy. Some people love the regular. I'm a little bit more on the regular, but it just raised the bar. And for people that appreciate good quality food that you can get quickly, what Popeyes did to the chicken game in North America with that sandwich is the gift that keeps on giving. So I think mandatory. It would be interesting to see how many the EST boys take down today, because I would imagine that chicken sandwich is going to be number 1 on the list.
Well, so Reed Wilkins is funny because Reed started working with us in September, and I think it was probably October and November. Kind of rolled into the bullpen where he was doing his work, and he had like a chicken sandwich laid out and some fries and stuff, Popeyes. And I said, "Oh, Popeyes chicken sandwich." Hey, he goes, "Dustin, I have to tell you, prior to starting working here, I had never had a Popeyes chicken sandwich before." He goes, "And now I am obsessed with them." Like they brought out a value menu. He tried everything on it. Like Reed Wilkins has become straight up. Like I'm waiting today when we're all sitting here, when Reed walks in later, and all the staff goes full-blown normie from Cheers, like, "Reed, welcome back, sir." And, he just walks in, sits down at his spot. So I know he's super excited about being here today. He loves this place.
Well, listen, I was wondering, you pulled up and I saw, he looks like he's in a booth with an orange background. Where could this be? And it's all making sense. So, hey, what could be better? A day of crushing Popeyes chicken and chicken sandwiches all day, and then Western Conference Finals, Game 4 tonight. I know we'll get to that in a minute. What's interesting is that we're going to have a Game 5 tomorrow.
Yes.
Between the Panthers and the Canes. The Canes finally win a game in the conference finals. Now, I was on Florida last night, so it didn't go well for me as far as the bet goes. But I have to admit, did have OKC. That was nice. Heck of a game. And you had to pick a money line, not on the spread, because that ended up being a 2-point game.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I feel like I don't think this changes anything with the Eastern Conference Final. I'm not even sure that this series gets back to Florida for a Game 6. But the respect I have for Rod Brind'Amour, what that team has done over the years, it would have been an absolute disaster for them to get whitewashed again in the Eastern Conference Final. And listen, I know Maurice wasn't particularly pleased with some of the things that his team did last night, but Carolina was taking a lot of heat right now. This is still a really, really good team that has been amongst a handful of the best teams in the league for a number of years. We always say there's only one team that wins, and when teams are going out, all of a sudden they look mortal. But, man, that was a needed win for that franchise, for that fan base, for everybody in the room, for Rod Brind'Amour, and they absolutely deserve to win that game last night.
Yeah, well-deserved win. A couple of empty netters to kind of seal it away at the end. I'm with you though. I don't think it really changes too much. Yeah, well, no, I was just gonna say we did see Florida last year have a 3-0 lead against the Oilers and ended up having to go to 7. But I don't know. I know they're missing some guys, but I still think Florida gets this thing done 6 max. Maybe Carolina pulls one out at home, but yeah, I want to have kinder words about the Carolina Hurricanes and say, they've got life now. They're going home. I'm sorry. Florida's too damn good. I think Florida will take care of business in Game 5.
Well, I think that's what most of the bookmakers are thinking as well, because while Carolina was actually the favorite at home in the first 2 games, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Florida as a slight favorite for game number 5 back in Carolina. Because I think if there's one thing we've known about the Florida Panthers, it doesn't really matter where they play. Do they have a home ice advantage? I guess. But I mean, think about the first round. I mean, they did most of their damage on the road. They lost the first couple of games in Toronto, but then played arguably their 2 best games of the entire playoffs in Game 5 and in Game 7 in Toronto. So there's no reality check right now for the Florida Panthers. They're going to be there. But I will say this, they would really like to get this thing done in 5, especially depending on what happens tonight. Because with the Oilers and Panthers poised for a potential Stanley Cup rematch, to avoid going to 6 or 7 in the conference finals will be a very, very nice bonus for whoever is able to get there and do it in short term. Like, put it this way, if one team ends in 5 and the other team has to go the distance in 7, I think it'll be a pretty significant advantage for the team that gets a couple days rest, because we know how long this grind is to win the Stanley Cup. You guys saw it last year, getting all the way just about to the finish line. I think we're going to see some killer instinct from Florida in game number 5. And I guess the big question is, do we get that tonight with the Edmonton Oilers? Can they keep this thing rolling after dropping game number 1 and rolling for the last 2, thanks to a number of players, especially Stuart Skinner in game 3?
Yeah, I mean, Stuart Skinner was excellent in game 3. And now one joke that we've been having. So let's stick with, we'll get back to the NBA. I want to talk about tonight's game, and I got a bone to pick with Anthony Edwards. So we'll get into that as well. But let's stick with the Oilers and Stars here right now, because we've been talking about it in the market. Stuart Skinner has been excellent against the Dallas Stars. Last year, he had a .922 save percentage as well. I know, 922 save percentage last year in the series against Dallas. He's outplayed Ottinger 2 series in a row. He's had a good start this year. So Stuart Skinner versus Dallas appears to be a different beast than he is against other teams in the playoffs. But tonight, we merged Dallas Stuart Skinner with Game 4 Stuart Skinner. And Game 4 Stuart Skinner has the best numbers of any goalie in Game 4 history. He's 5-0 with a 0.8 goals against average, a .971 save percentage, and he's got 2 shutouts in his last 5 Game 4. So the joke today was, what else is Stuart Skinner going to do outside of an anytime goal tonight? Stuart Skinner, anytime goal, empty net. He did score one when he played with the Lethbridge Hurricanes in the Western Hockey League. So if Stuart Skinner scores tonight, Huss, just know that we kind of manifested that this morning on the Nielsen show. But he's been outstanding. The other thing on the Ottinger front, and I like your thoughts on this, because I remember, and we had Button on this morning, we talked about Button during that series. He said, it's not like Winnipeg hasn't been just as good, if not better, than Dallas. It's just that Ottinger's been really good. I don't know if it's just the Oilers and, the bigger boys are getting to him. To me, Dallas' blue line is not holding up very well, and it's not really helping Ottinger that much. Like, Thomas Harley has not been good in this series. Heiskanen is an amazing defenseman, but has never really had success against the speed of Connor McDavid. You know what you're going to get from Esa Lindell, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's, not great. And then, the CCs and the other guys in that blue line, they can't play with these guys. So, I mean, when you're with what you're watching, are Jets fans extremely infuriated right now at Jake Ottinger, or what's going on in your mind? Oh, you're muted, Huss.
Yeah, you know what? I'd be lying if we didn't get into the chat on yesterday's show, and it inevitably got to where the hell was this Ottinger during the second round of the playoffs. But to his credit, I'm not sure if you heard what he had to say after the game. He sort of owned it. He said, listen, I've been doing this long enough to know that not every game is going to be perfect. And, it is how you handle these setbacks and deal with them moving forward. And I just need to push this one behind and be much better. Now, it's easy to say that. It's another thing to do against an Oiler team that is absolutely rolling with the firepower that they have. And again, as we go back to this again, it is not just 97 and 29 are getting it done. They're really getting contributions up and down the lineup, which is exactly what they envisioned when they made these ads that they did in the offseason, as well as the work that they did at the deadline and throughout the year. But make no mistake about it, there's a lot of pressure on Jake Ottinger. I mean, they just simply cannot win this series if they don't have elite goaltending, because the Oilers are already the Oilers. And despite what I think there's still a few people in the Edmonton market will say, he's been absolutely brilliant after a really tough start to the playoffs where he lost his job for a little bit and Pickard came in and raised the team up. Like, listen, the game 4 numbers have to be a bit of an anomaly. I mean, they're just so good. Like, there's only one way for them to go, and that is down. But you could still go down significantly, and it's a heck of a lot better than what the Oilers saw from Ottinger in the Stars net for games number 2 and 3. So, I mean, Dallas needs to find a way to score. And I think that is going to be DeBoer's focus tonight. It's interesting if you look at the team total for Dallas. I mean, listen, you can get a nice hefty plus number on under 1.5. I mean, if you think that Skinner's just going to keep on doing what he's doing, especially in game number 4s, like, I'm not sure you want to go and bet a shutout. But I mean, to hold this team to 1, which they just did, and Skinner plays at a high level, certainly possibility. You can get a really nice number. But there is a part of me that thinks, like, listen, this Dallas team is not a pushover. They know the circumstances too. You lose this game tonight, you're pretty much toast. I mean,
it's pretty much
3 in a row against Edmonton is going to be really difficult. So, I do think we'll see the best of the Dallas Stars tonight. I think this will be a much more closely contested game than the last couple that we've seen in this series.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you'd like to chime in on the conversation today, if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And if you're watching over on YouTube, obviously you can hit us up in the chat. Zulu says he feels a barn burner brewing tonight. So, yeah, well, I mean, we'll see.
I'm with Zulu, and just quickly on this, and I took a bit of a pause after you mentioned that today is Ben's birthday and all the mojo going into this game tonight, because I will be honest, as I came on the show to talk about this game tonight, I can't help but look at the 3-way line.
You're looking at overtime tonight, anybody?
We might have overtime tonight. I mean, I got too much respect for Dallas to think that they're just going to get pushed away the way it sort of seemed like it's been going. I think that if you really dig into game number 3, they did a lot right in that second period that wasn't rewarded with, because Stuart Skinner was the best player on the ice. If that doesn't happen tonight, I think they do get a few goals. I think the Oilers are going to definitely be right there. But if there is a game that I think might go and provide us a little bit of free hockey, I think tonight might be that night. Like, I'm not willing to take Dallas. Yeah, I think I am going to take a flyer on a little overtime tonight. Obviously, I think I'll go with the Oilers money line, but I'm not looking at the puck line tonight, because like Zulu, I think this is going to be a barn burner, and I think we're going to see 2 great teams putting their best out, knowing what's on the line.
If you do like the overtime play tonight with our crew over at Play Alberta, plus 320 is the number that you can get on. Is the number you can get on that one. I mentioned the EST specials right before I brought you on, Huss. Connor McDavid, 2 or more points, over 1.5 points, minus 116. And then the early bird bets, McDavid assist, Bouche point, Hyman point, Oilers to win. How about these numbers on Connor McDavid in game 4s? First of all, he's riding a 7-game point streak in the playoffs against Dallas. In 6 of his 9 career playoff games against Dallas, he had multi-point games. And then in his game 4s, he's got a point in at least 13 of his 15 career game 4s for 26 points. And in his last 10 game 4s, Connor McDavid has 2 goals and 20 assists. He's got 22 points in his last 10 games. He's averaging 2 assists per game 4 in the last 10 game 4s. So, I mean, Connor McDavid, we know game 4 is always a very critical swing. You're either 2-2 or it's 3-1 or it's the end of a series. Connor McDavid has just been in setup mode in game 4 for years now. So I love him over 1.5 points tonight. Oh, you're muted again, Hus.
The funny thing is that you got to get to 2.5 points to get plus money on McDavid. I mean, he's that
in the playoffs, Hus. Like, this isn't a regular season game against San Jose. No disrespect to San Jose, but I mean, in the playoffs, to have to get to 3 points to get plus money on a player is just the likes of which we've never seen.
No, and you know what I mean? I think if you want to get on McDavid, I don't listen. He showed that, he can put it in. 2 beautiful goals in game number 3. And if you don't like having to lay juice for a 2-point game in the Stanley Cup playoffs, I don't mind his goal number, Dusty. I mean, listen, Connor McDavid to score right now with the amount that he plays and the way that he's feeling it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost think that based on the value of what
you like a goal, maybe more than 2 points.
Well, I just think that, I think those are almost equally as likely to happen.
Yeah.
And I think the number is better on the goal scoring just because he's so prolific when it comes to just getting points. But, Draisaitl is always going to be the guy that leads the way with the goal prop, but there's McDavid, number 2 on the list. And, he could have
the other thing, McDavid actually leads the playoffs in shots as well. He's got 53 shots on goal, which is the most of anybody in the playoffs.
Listen, what we saw in game number 3, I think is going to be more the norm of him lighting the lamp. So I might just play Connor McDavid goal props every game for the remainder of this series. I mean, if you're getting plus money, if he scores 1 every 2 games, you'll be ahead of the game. And I have no reason to not think he's going to continue to drive the bus. What have you got of Draisaitl so far this series?
He's been better this series than he was in that last series against Vegas. I think things have opened up for him a little bit more. But it is kind of funny you bring that up because I was looking at some of these player markets today. And at the beginning of the series, you would have seen a Leon goal at like plus 110-ish. And McDavid would have been around plus 160, 150. Now it's plus 120 and plus 136. So those numbers are starting to come back a little bit closer together. And I think it's just because McDavid's having a much better series so far. But I mean, I can always be convinced on a Leon Draisaitl goal. Let me bring up Leon's game log here because let's see here. I'm just trying to think of let's get a peek at his. Okay, so he scored in game 1, had 3 points. He only has 1 goal in his last 6 games. So if you believe in the old Leon possibly do theory, 1 goal in his last 6 games is way off pace for him. And in their last game against Dallas, I didn't even notice this the morning after because everybody was so pumped about the 6-1 win. Leon Draisaitl did not have a shot on goal in game 3. Which is the first time he has not had a shot on goal since. Oh boy. How about this? How about this for a stat, Hus? The last time Leon played a game without a shot on goal was November 4th against New Jersey. And it only happened 3 times all season, including game 3. So it could be bounce back offensive game here. Wow. Yeah, Leon Draisaitl. No shots November 4th against New Jersey. No shots October 28th against the Blue Jackets. And then that didn't happen again until the last game. So, I mean, Leon's probably due to pop one here too. You're muted again, Huss. That's 3 for 3 today.
Sorry, I keep on doing that to grab a drink. What about the shot prop? Like plus money on over 3.5? Like if Leon Draisaitl goes through a game without any shots on goal, you don't think that he's going to come in going, okay, you know what? I'm getting pucks on Ottinger tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you would think. Because he went no shots. See you later, buddy. 2 shots in the previous game. And before that, 4 and 5. So, I mean, I'm just trying to think of what's the best prop to put into a little parlay tonight. I don't mind the McDavid goal. I don't mind the Draisaitl prop. If you have any thoughts on it over on YouTube, give us a prop tonight. Duck Dad says Nuge to be a plus player. There we are in that plus player category again. Nuge to be a plus player at plus 142. What do you think, Huss? What would you like more? A Draisaitl goal or a McDavid goal or Draisaitl shots?
What about, can we get a minus for Wyatt Johnson?
You know what?
Continuing to push for his green jacket?
They would be stupid to give us that option. I'm just looking at players that you can get, and it's just, wait a second here. Oh no, I don't think I see any stars. I see all the Oilers plus minus props, but I don't see any Dallas props.
Yeah, I'm sure people in Alberta aren't really hammering the. Although that would be a funny one. You could get an exclusive or something up for. Luckily, guys, a Wyatt Johnson minus. Although I've never dabbled into plus minus betting. I'm probably not going to. It's just
come down about him. Come to the darkness, Huss. Come to the darkness. Jacket.
It truly is amazing. But listen, now that you mentioned that, I'm playing it just on its own. Draisaitl over 3.5 shots at a nice number. I am going to take a Connor McDavid goal tonight. I do like the Oilers to win this game. And I think there's going to be a little sprinkle on overtime tonight. Plus 340 or 320, whatever the number is. But it's Dallas is gonna bring their best tonight. I mean, this is, in a lot of ways, this is the series for Dallas. If Dallas won this game, am I still confident of Edmonton? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I probably will go and hit them for the series, knowing that it'll probably get relatively close. I think the Oilers would still be a favorite, even though Dallas has 2 of the last 3 at home. And of course, Pete DeBoer doesn't lose in game 7. But like we said last series, we're going to see about the Oilers' killer instinct. Yeah. And I thought they had it in a big way in that Vegas series. The lessons that they learned last year in the playoffs, I think that helped them get out of that series early.
You're right. That's what it is.
They're still there. Like that, nothing has changed. They arguably are playing a better opponent who's going to have something to say about it. But I do like the Oilers to win this game. But I think Dallas is going to make them work for it tonight. I don't expect them to just roll over them the way at least the scoreboard looked like it happened in game 3 and even more so game 2.
All right, so we've got some options there that we can throw into a parlay a little bit later on. We like the McDavid goal, Draisaitl over 3.5 shots. We had the suggestion of Nuge to be a plus player at plus 142. Huss is sprinkling overtime at plus 320 on its own as well. If you'd like to dabble in that one, let's anything else on this hockey game, Huss? Or I want to flip over to the NBA here for a bit and then get to some CFL stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean I think we've kind of gone through this. I mean I didn't really get into Dallas guys, but to be honest, I think for this listenership, I don't want to talk about.
You know what? No, but here's the problem. Like Button laid it out. There's like 3 or 4 Dallas forwards who are doing anything. Like they need a lot more from some of these other guys, and they got some scoring in that first game, but most of it was on the power play. Tyler Seguin had 2 5-on-5 goals in that game. Then they had an empty netter. The other 3 goals all came on the power play. Rantanen has 2 assists and just 6 shots through the first 3 games. Like it's tough to back any Dallas forwards right now because I wouldn't describe any of them in this series as really playing well so far.
No, and that's why I think you got to be ready for them to be a lot better tonight. Like there's a bunch of guys that have been very, very quiet. I mean, I know Duchesne finally got his goal. like he's close to 4-1 to score. Jason Robertson's over 3-1. Seguin's over 3-1 right now. But maybe the biggest guy of all is Rantanen. I mean, if he's the guy, he just gets hot. And when he's on, he can score in bunches. I mean, we saw those back-to-back 4-point games, the hat trick against Winnipeg. I mean, if you wanted to look at a Dallas guy that I think is under the gun that, needs to really step up, I'll start with him. But there's a long list of Dallas Stars that Pete DeBoer needs more from if they're going to even think about making this a series against the Oilers.
It's Nielsen and Huss with you here on the Lock Shop. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Deposit $5 right now over at Play Alberta. Use the code YAG50 and you will get a $50 free bet. This is an interesting one. Coach Mike says every single game in the Western Conference or Eastern Conference final has been decided by 3 goals or more. I feel like that continues tonight, Coach Mike.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, actually. I mean, last night was 2 empty netters. Still kind of weird, though. There hasn't been a game that's been 2 goals or less in the conference final.
We're due for overtime. That's my point.
that's what I was to say.
I'm not with you, Coach Mike. I think this is going to be a tight one. Listen, I know Oiler fans would love it if they could get up early and cruise with a 3+ no stress team win. I just think Dallas is better than they've shown so far, and they know what's at stake tonight. They'll put their best foot forward, and it's going to take everyone and Stuart Skinner, I think, to even consider a possibility like the coach is laying out. But I do think this will be, I'll go on the record saying this will not be a 3-goal game. I mean,
there we go.
I wouldn't even touch Dallas. I guess I could maybe touch Dallas plus 1.5, but I'm not thinking puck line. If you're betting this game, I would just bet money line. And as I say, I am going to take a look at that regulation draw to give us a little free hockey and cash a pick in between 3 and 4-1.
Couple of quick notes here just from the Oilers earlier today. Arvidsson will not go for Arvidsson is in for game 4. Connor Brown is out with an injury. Matthias Ekholm, who said yesterday he is close, is not going to play in game 4. So we will wait on the return of Matthias Ekholm. All right, let's slide over to the NBA house where as you know, a ton of respect for Anthony Edwards, has that dog in him. Last night in the first half was the first time I ever doubted that, ever. I mean, that was a massive, massive game. I got into it midway through the second quarter, and I turn on the game. I see the score. I'm like, okay. And then I go and check out, like on the score app to see the points and stuff so far. And Anthony Edwards had attempted 1 shot in the first quarter and a half of a must-win, essentially, game 4. I was stunned. I mean, he attempted like 8 or 10 shots in the first quarter of the last game. He had 1 attempted shot in the first quarter and a half of a huge game. I don't know if it was something OKC did to him defensively, but to me, that doesn't matter for that guy. Like, that guy finds a way to get his shot off. So I don't know. That was bizarro world to me. The fact that he was not even taking shots in the first half of that basketball game just made no sense last night.
I mean, I was following along sort of the same as you were watching the hockey. I would imagine that OKC looked at what happened in game number 2 and said, guys, we cannot let this guy get rolling. Like, if some other guys are going to have open shots, whatever, our job tonight is to not make it easy for Ant to kill us the way he did in game number 3. And listen, they were able to do that. SGA had a monster game last night.
He had a huge game.
That was MVP-esque.
Well, that's the playoff legacy game. Like those are ones that you remember.
Did you see him nutmeg that guy when he fell down and passed it through his leg to that dude to the 3? I mean, when that happens, it's probably not your night. But I was listening. Was it Simmons or Russillo later on last night afterwards saying the only team in the NBA that wins that game last night is the OKC Thunder? Because despite the slow start of Anthony Edwards and the way things shook out early on, this was tight all the way to the end. And OKC, with just so many different weapons and the way they play defense, was able to get that win. And now they are basically through. I mean, again, we could see a team win 2 on the road and 1 at home and 3 in a row to make it, but that's highly unlikely. The real drama, though, is on the game tonight and the Knicks and the Pacers as to whether the Knicks can return the favor and keep this a road series with the road team winning all 4 games and make it a best of 3 back at the Mecca of MSG.
Crazy that the Pacers had the 20-point lead last game at home with a chance to go up 3-0. After everything we've seen from the Pacers and the comeback kids and everything, and then that happens.
This series, dude, it's like don't go up by 20 because you're.
So do we just start waiting in this series and then just live bet whatever team's down 20?
I regret not starting that earlier if that's the new process. But I think we do see that, especially if we're talking about in the first half. I mean, with the exception of game 3 between the T-Wolves and Thunder, we've seen big deficits completely erased. And that's part of the reason why I'm like, oh, do you watch the game? Well, I didn't really watch the game. I tuned in for the last 5 minutes because often it doesn't matter how things start. The Waterwolves find its level. These teams are all really good. They're all relatively close. But this in particular, I mean, the Knicks have new life after winning that game.
Yep.
And they know that if they want to win this series, it's one thing to get a game and, avoid a sweep. It's another thing to get back in this series. And they got to do it tonight. And if they do, they'll be favorites again in the series going back to New York. Otherwise, they're going to be on life support.
So you like Knicks money line? I'm looking at like plus 110-ish right now.
To be honest, I think I like the Pacers.
Yeah? You think so, hey?
I just still think the Pacers are a better team. That was why I took them at the start of the series. I think they're just because they're in Indiana, no one talks about them. But when you kind of dive into all the pieces that they have, led by Halliburton.
Siakam's had some big games too.
Well, listen, I was just about to go there. I mean, and Spicy P, he's a guy that's won a championship before. They've got, and then you think about guys like Nembhard. He was the one that sank all those threes in the crazy first game 1, right?
Naismith. This is Naismith.
Naismith.
But I think he's out. Let me just check.
Yeah,
I thought I heard Jasmine say on the hangout that. I thought Jasmine said on the hangout that he's out.
I'm seeing Naismith listed right now, so I'm not too sure. But just, I look at those guys. I mean, both of them are sort of like 12-point over-under guys. And you think that guy hit, 5 threes in the last 2 minutes of the game? Game number 1. I still can't get over that comeback by the Pacers, which just goes to show they got to win this game at home. I mean, if they lose this, they will have won 2 games at MSG and then have blown home court. Now, it's not like they won't go in and think we can't win, but I mean, is it realistic to expect to win every single time on the road? Not really. So to me, it's crunch time, and having what happened in game number 3, I think makes the Pacers better tonight. I mean, listen, this could go either way. I don't have a strong lean on this, but I think I'm going to stay with my original pick for the series, knowing the importance of this one.
Yeah, the Pacers being up so big last game and then let it slip away at home in the spot house has shown they're capable of it. That doesn't happen again, right? We don't see them blow another lead like that, right? Like if they come out and play the way they did to start that last game.
Sometimes you learn lessons the hard way. And they don't need to wait a month to play the Knicks again and remember, oh, that happened before. No, it's fresh on everyone's mind. And they're probably pretty angry with themselves that they don't have an opportunity to win this series and book a ticket to the NBA Finals tonight already. Yeah.
Yeah, so Pacers money line right now, I'm looking at it's minus 139. And then let's say... What'd you like more, the Drysdale shot prop or McDavid goal?
Excuse me as I cough.
You okay? You got lots of
I've
coughs
just been
today, buddy.
sick. You know how it is. And I've been talking for the last 3 hours recording stuff. It's good. I've got some stuff in the can for WST. I can hit that mute button. I mean, for a parlay, let's McDavid goal. Who doesn't like to bet on a McDavid goal? You mentioned he's leading the shots. He just scored 2. He's feeling it. And heck, I think this is going to be a close game. And I like McDavid's chances of scoring even more in a close game because this is a guy that stands up and raises his level of game when his team needs it the most. And as I say, I'm expecting more from Dallas tonight.
All right, so that's what we'll do. We'll go Pacers money line, McDavid with a goal tonight. That's over 3-1 before we get a nice little friendly boost from Play Alberta. So you'll be able to find that on the EST specials page. Huss, I did a CFL fantasy draft last night, my man.
Tell me more.
Davis Reed Fantasy Football League of Adult Things. We have a 6-man league.
6 man?
6 man, and we ran 17 rounds deep last night. So we drafted over.
First of all, what do you start every week?
Okay, here I've got my thing right here. So we start a quarterback, a running back, 3 wide receivers, a Canadian, which can be any of those positions. It's like a Canadian swing spot.
Canadian.
And then
what about QB?
Yeah. It can also be a quarterback.
Whoa.
Yes. Yeah. So it's big. So Nathan Rourke went first. Trey Ford went second. And then Brady Oliveira went third. And then I was sitting in the 4-hole. I decided to stick with my Canadian, like a Canadian as well. I took Justin McInnes. And then in the second round, I got Sam Emilus. So I can have one of them in my Canadian spot when the other one's out. And then we have a kicker and a defense, and then we'll cut it down to 5 bench guys, but we drafted 9 bench guys. We're going to cut 2 after this final preseason week, and then we're going to drop 2 more after week 1 once the rosters kind of settle in, which is kind of a neat way to go about it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Here's the roster I put together, and I think, I'll have to look into it. So I took Justin McInnes in the first round, then I got Emilus, then I took Butler, then I got Reggie Begelton. So my lineup is Trevor Harris at quarterback, Butler at a running back, McInnes, Begelton, Stephen Dunbar, who had 1,000 yards last year, comes back to Edmonton. Sam Emilus in my Canadian spot with Sergio Castillo, and then the Red Blacks defense. And then my bench is AJ Olette, Charleston Rambo, Greg Bell, who's the number 1 running back in Hamilton. So I got nice running back depth, probably the best I've ever had in this league. And then I got Javon Catoy. I handcuffed Trevor Harris with Jake Mayer. So when he eventually gets hurt, I've got the starter there still. And then Tyler Sneed, Stanley Berryhill, Zach Mathis, and Calgary's backup running back so far in the preseason, Eno Benjamin, who was with the Arizona Cardinals for a little while. Dedrick Mills last year missed some time. Remember, he was away from the team for a bit. And so, Benjamin, it was fun.
I always love it when there are guys playing in the Canadian Football League that I have had and started on previous NFL fantasy football rosters. And Eno Benjamin is one of those guys.
When I saw Eno Benjamin, I was like, hey, I had him on my bench in some NFL leagues in the past. So we'll see what happens. But, man, this is we had such a good time last night. We connected on Microsoft Teams, the 6 of us, did the draft in person together, took an hour. This is what the CFL needs. We need this season long. Myself and 5 listeners. We decided to start because Awanik has a league with him and Eric and Eric's brother Lucas, and then Scott McCord from the Bear. And we have this big rivalry in town, right? They started it. They're going into year 10. So they have a 4-man league. We made a 6-man league. So it's obviously it's a better league. It's a bigger league. So we're going into year 3 or 4. And we got just CFL fans from all over the place.
Now, here's my other question. Is this all done manually, or is there a host site that you can manually? The commissioner
spreadsheet. So Awanik created a spreadsheet that he did pass to us, and now obviously a rivalry started between the 2 leagues. But you'll see him sometimes pop up in the chat. Georgia Satellite. He's our commissioner. He lives in Atlanta. The draft was done at 11 o'clock his time last night.
Oh, that's dedication. That's dedication.
So, it was dedication, and it's fun. Now, let me ask you this question. So and I haven't seen the tweet, but I saw it pop up on my feed. I want to take a quick peek because I was sitting there and I didn't have a quarterback yet, and a bunch of quarterbacks are already gone. And I thought, yeah, okay. Anyway, so Shanetti says Chad Kelly is out with an ingrown toenail. There's an x-ray coming later this week on his repaired right leg. That is the main concern right now. So I was sitting there. Chad Kelly was still on the board for me. And I thought, Chad Kelly runs a lot. Could be some rushing touchdowns. But then I saw Arbuckle was going to start week 1, and you just don't know. So I took Trevor Harris instead. What do you think of passing on Chad Kelly to take Trevor Harris?
Wow. I probably wouldn't have done that.
I know. I panicked.
To be honest, I probably would have taken Kelly and then immediately with my next pick tried to pick another star.
Arbuckle? Oh, take another star. Yeah, I could have.
Or one of those other guys. I
could have gone Kelly and Bo Levi back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I would have done that. And it's not that I don't like Trevor Harris. It's just that I wouldn't want to be in your situation having to start Jake Maier. And I think that
I started Jake Maier last year in this league the whole season with Calgary.
You probably sucked.
It wasn't good. I mean, I finished third, but still, it wasn't good.
So I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I get it that Chad Kelly does have some question marks, and I wouldn't be totally confident just to take Kelly and
if Kelly would have been for sure a week 1 starter, I think he probably would have gone even earlier in the draft. So I know, but then what really busts my balls is the guy who took Trey Ford 2nd overall ended up taking Chad Kelly in the next round. So he could have teams where he's starting Chad Kelly at quarterback and Trey Ford at the Canadian position. And it's just, it's tough.
Listen, the wrinkle with you guys allowing Canadian quarterbacks to play in that Canadian, it's not a Canadian flex spot. It's a Canadian period player. The two guys that have the 1st and 2nd pick, I think have a significant advantage.
Huge advantage. Yeah.
And presumably they went and got half decent quarterbacks for their other spot. I mean, there's 9 starting QBs. If those two guys are in flex spots, then basically there's only one quarterback in the CFL that won't be starting in, on any given,
You know who I almost took? I almost took Strevler.
Oh, here's the crazy thing with Strev. He's probably good for 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it's going to be tough to start him because, I guess the touchdowns aren't that bad. If Zach's not throwing touchdowns and Strev's running them in, he would put up almost as many points for just the touchdowns.
Well, and remember, Brady won the MOP last year, and 12 weeks in, we're like, Brady doesn't have a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's what happens when you got a player like Strevler. And even in the past year with McGuire, Sean McGuire led the CFL in touchdowns the year before. I mean, the Bombers, as much as any team in the league, lean on that quarterback to smash it in. And they don't care if the quarterback or their star running back aren't getting the numbers. They feel it's in the best interest of the team to move forward.
I need Strev to get national, become a national. Then he would have been a 1st-round pick. Instead, he goes undrafted. If you could have taken him and thrown him in that Canadian spot, juicy.
The people of Winnipeg would happily give him a passport right now. Yeah. He has been adopted as one of our own. So,
hey, sticking with the CFL for a sec, guys. I've trimmed up the beard. What do you think about this beard for a TV guy?
It's, you could definitely pull that off. It looks
think so?
Very well
my wife still doesn't think so. She's like, you need to tighten it up, straighten it out and stuff. But I don't know.
It's a pretty, I'm not used to seeing you with a real metrosexual look, but you can pull it off.
It's not bad.
Listen, I'll be honest. If you're talking about your look right now, the beard is the last of your worries.
Yeah,
what is going on the top of your head?
I've been sitting at Popeyes for 5 hours. I'm sweaty as hell.
Hey, it's fine. You got the hat on, but I'm pretty sure that the new PG, your boss at TSN will be like, Dusty, we're gonna get you a nice new haircut. Yeah, 24/7 bedhead. I love it.
How about this, Huss? Hey, it's sitting next to Paul Lapalisse, week 1. Hi, I'm Dustin Nielson. Thank you for joining us for the CFL on TSN.
It's funny you say that with the hair. I yesterday, after the show, I went out for a walk, and I guess I had a hat on, and I took it off. Didn't look at myself when I went out. I'm walking around the neighborhood for an hour. I'm seeing people and they're looking at me like, oh, hi, whatever. And I got back in. I don't know. I had something in my hair. It basically looked like I had been electrocuted. And I was just out on the street everywhere. I got people like, oh, yeah, they're just saying hi. No, they were looking like, what the hell did that guy do with his hair? I had no clue at all. It was a little sweaty. So I think I went like this a couple times. And yeah, it was just straight up. 2 fingers in the voltage, and that was the look yesterday.
Jeez.
I'd love to see you with that right now. If you can get like maximum extension on all of that.
Go like that. How's that look?
Have you ever considered a perm?
No, I've never considered it. This actually doesn't look too bad on the camera right now.
Wasn't Tommy Gazzola going to get a perm one time?
Tommy got forced into getting a perm for charity by Gregor at the old place.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think I'd force him to do that at the new place. I don't know if that's going to work. What's coming up on Winnipeg Sports Talk, Huss?
Well, we've got actually a really fun show today. We're continuing Desiree Scott week. Our old pal Rob Gale, who's now the head coach of the Portland Thorns, is going to come on, talk about Desi's work. Pagnotta from the 4th period. We'll see what he's hearing on Nikolai Ehlers and, some of the other potential free agents, and obviously talk about the playoffs. Ken Weave's going to jump on as well. And I will tell everybody that 3 p.m. our time, so 2 p.m. Winnipeg time, often we'll just sort of go late. We're going to be out right at 3 or 2 p.m. in Edmonton because that's the first edition of CFL 110. One big question for every team in the league, Jeff Hamilton and I. So for you CFL fans, whether you're going to join us live or later on, that'll be up later today at the Winnipeg Sports Talk channel, but we'll premiere it with the live chat and everything, 2 p.m. Edmonton time, 3 p.m. And that'll be ready for me to go on my drive into work tomorrow morning. It's a CFL season tradition. Boom. Let's go. CFL 110. I love it. All right, man. We'll let you slide out and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Okay. Perfect, dude. All the best. Good luck tonight. And as I said, I'm feeling potential overtime, but I do like the Oilers tonight. And McDavid goal. And now that you've told me about the 0 in the shot category, I will responsibly be hammering Draisaitl over 3.5. Let's make it happen. There you go. That is Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. Thanks a lot, man. There you go. That is Huss. Find him on Twitter at Huslarama, and of course, sub to the Winnipeg Sports Talk channel as well. We'll get into some of those Draisaitl numbers. I mean, that is crazy. Didn't have a shot on goal for the first time since November, and it's only happened 3 times all season. So we got number crunchers coming up on 2 guys for Play Alberta as well. Let's just take a quick peek over on our EST specials page before we wrap. Tons of odds boosts available over at playalberta.ca as well. Click on the EST specials page. 3 of them are up so far. Indiana Pacers money line and a McDavid goal plus 360. Connor McDavid 2 points. My man, we are all over McDavid. Hey, this is a game 4. It's been McDavid land. 22 points in his last 10 games. Why not? In game 4. Pacers to win on the money line. McDavid goal plus 360. Connor McDavid 2 points or more minus 116. McDavid assist. Bush point. Hyman point. Oilers win plus 341. I'll tell you, McDavid getting held off the score sheet tonight would just crush all of these. But I got faith in him. I got faith in him right now. If you've not yet used that code 100sports, deposit $20, use the code 100sports, and you will get a $100 free bet. You can use it on any of these old special bets here as well. That's 100sports at playalberta.ca or on the app. Use the code 100sports, you deposit $20, and you will get a $100 free bet. The grandest of parlays from the DGen Den still to come today. And Jay's play of the day. Jay did hit the Hurricanes on the money line last night.
That'll be going up on the specials page, EST specials over at Play Alberta as well. 2 guys and a goalie coming up. Myself, Gager is here. Hernan's here getting ready for EST afternoons as well. Cass will obviously join us. 2 guys and goalie presented by GS Construction is on the way. Thank you very much for joining us in the Lock Shop today. Good luck if you're riding with us tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.